What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sports Geek. Recording a little show here. Um, Yankees trade deadline has come to an end, and I don't know. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. This front office makes it extremely difficult to be a Yankee fan. Makes it extremely difficult to kind of understand what they're doing or what they care about. Um, Now, I don't know what happened today. I don't know if teams were asking for some unbelievable asks that would turn me off as if I were a GM, or I mean, I find it difficult that, you know, is Cincinnati asking a lot for Tyler Stevenson? Like, you know, I know St. Louis might ask a lot for Ivan Herrera, as I've stated in previous shows. Um, Maybe Ryan Jeffers, maybe the ask from Minnesota was too much. They don't like us anyway. Since we've beat them so much, why make us even better, right? So maybe the ask was large there, but it just seems like nothing happened today. Now I know they picked up Elliot Ramos from the Giants. I don't really care about that trade. Elliot Ramos is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Once again, if I say this, I'm not making fun of the player, right? I'm making fun of his ability. I don't know this person. He could be a very good person. Um, could be a guy that devotes his time to charities. That's all great qualities. But if you think Jason Dominguez has a horrible time in the outfield, Elliot Ramos is no better. So we picked him an outfielder who has issues playing the outfield, poor defensively, right? Let me just pull up his baseball reference page here before I start talking smack. Why can't I find him? Let me go Ramos. Oh, it's with one L, my bad. So let's just take a look at his batting average. So he's got 264 batting average, right? For this year. 76 hits, 288 bats, 9 home runs, 36 runs, 34 ribbies, 3 stolen bases, a 304 on base percentage, a 424 slugging, a 720. I mean, right now he's better than a Yankee, really, except for Ben Rice. I mean, he's got the next highest average, right? So I guess average wise, it's not a bad thing. Career's a 257 batting average, 3.6 WAR player. He's very consistent when it comes to his OBP, slugging, and OPS. For his career, it's very close to what it is now. It's not far off. But I don't understand the move in this deal. I mean, I know we need an outfielder because Cody Bellinger's injured, Judge is injured. We have no idea if Judge is coming back or not, right? We have no idea. Giancarlo's starting to take some practice today, as well as we'll start some more rehab running early this week. But still, the roster is so we don't have a catcher. Yes, and Austin Wells 2 for 2 tonight. This is August 3rd, 11:07 p.m. against the Cardinals. But so we're just gonna roll with Austin Wells. That's the thing. Once again, we knew we needed a catcher since the offseason. Since winter, we knew we needed a catcher, a right-handed catcher. We rolled with 3 left-handed catchers. How'd that turn out for you? Didn't turn out too well, did it? And we couldn't pull off getting a right-handed catcher today. Boston basically gave the Orioles a bag of chips, a donut, and maybe a pretzel for a trade and some cash to get Adley Rutschman. Now, I'm not saying Adley Rutschman was the end-all, be-all answer. He's been doing terrible. But the fact that we couldn't pull off a simple trade to get a Tyler Stevenson or um, a Ryan Jeffers from the Twins, it's puzzling to me. And like I said, I'm not in these conversations. I have no idea what the GMs are talking about. It could have been a crazy ask. That's the only thing I could see. Or maybe the Yankees just said, I'm not pushing all in because we have no idea if Judge is coming back. So why even go all in? They need him to win. If he's not going to play for the rest of the year, then why commit to it? But it's basically telling the organization that you don't believe that you can do it. You're basically just giving up, which is weird. The Yankees are not the Yankees anymore. They're not. Let's just stop. Let's stop thinking that they'll ever be the Yankees. I wish they would just sell the team to somebody who is a fan, who wants to bring it back, almost like a Steve Cohen type, and just wants to bring the Yankees back to the days of old. This nonsense of what they're doing is absolutely ridiculous. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They didn't do anything. I love the Luis Garcia Jr. trade. I get that. There was reports that the Padres turned down it was Will Warren for Adrian Morjan, which is a really good reliever. For the Padres to turn down a starter, I'm not saying Will Warren is the end-all, be-all, greatest starter ever. He's a solid number 3, number 4 starter for any team. Solid. The guy takes the mound. He's not injury prone. He takes the mound. And I said it before. To me, Will Warren has the nastiest stuff out of any Yankee pitcher I've ever seen, but he can't control it. And maybe that comes with time, that comes with develop, that comes with, pitching lab sessions, certain pitch shape techniques, and how to really start where the pitch starts and then where it ends, and kind of learn that on how he naturally throws. But until then, he's a solid number 3, number 4 starter on any team except the Yankees. And the Yankees are number 5, number 6 starter. But for the Padres, so that's what I'm saying, like maybe the asking price was too high. For the Padres to turn down a starter, I don't care how good your fucking reliever is. I really don't. He's not Mason Miller. He's not Mason Miller good. He's good, but he's not great. To turn on a fucking full-time starter, that's some balls right there. That's balls. If those rumors are true. So the Yankees said, yeah, screw you, man. I'm giving you a starter that's going to take the mound and not get injured. And you're giving me a reliever that pitches what? Not as much as a starter? Yeah, fuck that. If anything, I could see the Yankees turn down that offer, right? Not the other way around, not the way how it was reported that the Padres turned it down. So, very interesting trade deadline. I'm not impressed. I'm impressed with the Luis Garcia Jr. signing. I hope he plays every day, wherever he decides to play. The Yankees opted to stay with Jazz Chisholm. That could have been a move. Maybe teams don't want to deal with his bullshit. Luis Ariz went to the Phillies for what? Right? I looked at the moves around the league today, and a lot of things didn't make any sense at all. The Blue Jays were pushing in like they were like putting all their chips into the middle, and they're in last place. It makes no sense. At least that ownership believes in the team. At least they're saying we're last, but we're going to try and we're trying to get a little bit above last, which is admirable. That right there shows me that's a good org. We settled for a platoon player and another platoon player who is possibly just as bad as Jason Dominguez in the outfield. If you can believe that bullshit. Batshit crazy. So, I don't really have anything to say. I've been sitting there since 6 p.m. thinking about what I want to say. And all I have in my head is it's shock and awe. It never ceases to amaze me with this team. I don't know why I'm a Yankee fan still. Even after this, I'm still a fan. Maybe won't go to as many games. Maybe won't go until a few people leave the organization because they obviously don't have an interest. You built this team, right? And I get it. Listen, it might not all be Cashman's fault. Could be Hal saying we're not trading that guy. Remember, ownership has to approve everything too. We don't know what goes on. We know one guy to blame. We blame Cashman because he's the one that puts the team together. Please realize, people, that someone has to. There's no GM out there in the fucking world that has full autonomy of a team. That doesn't fucking happen. I'm not sure what world you think you live in. Just how you have a manager, well, that manager has to answer to a boss, and that boss has to answer to another boss. No one has full autonomy to go, yeah, I'm running the Yankees, except Hal himself. Doesn't. It's not the real world. It's not the world we live in. Even forget bosses. If you're in a relationship with your wife or your girlfriend, don't you talk things over with her? Try and make plans for the future or what you want to do next week, or you don't just go, okay, I'm leaving the country, and you don't say anything. You might not be able to come home when you decide to come back home without telling her where the hell you just went or why you went there. Like, it's crazy. So you have to answer certain things, and I think that maybe there's some disconnect somewhere in the organization as to why they act the way they act, but they're definitely not who they are. Like I said earlier, the Dodgers are the Yankees of the 1994, 95, 96, 97. The Dodgers are basically the Yankees of that era, and you got to tip your hats to them. That was the blueprint. Just look at what that legacy and franchise did from 1994 on, or 95 really on, to say around 2002, around there. That was the handbook. That was the guide. And if you had the dollars, you can make that happen. The Dodgers have the dollars to just say, hey, that's the holy grail of how to be. So why we're not that way anymore, I have no clue. I know with the CBA coming up, owners are going to be like, they're all sticking together. They want a salary cap. It's the only professional sport right now that does not have a salary cap. Um, Seems like all the owners want it, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. Listen, I'm all for free capitalism, man. I'm all for making the most. I hate when people you have to put a limit on something, but then the other side of me, the reasonable side, the cognitive side says, why are players making over $30 million a year? $30 million is a lot of money to make for your salary. It is a lot of money. Even after you pay your agent, taxes, it's a lot. Because here's newsflash, guys. They just don't make a salary. These guys have endorsements. There's advertising dollars. Shohei Ohtani makes $50 million a year just from his ad revenues. That's why he can take $10 million a year from the Dodgers, so they had money to spend to buy other players to bring in to build a championship organization. So making $10 million a year. He makes 50 just from marketing and advertising a year on top of his salary, plus all the deferred money he's getting later down the road. So don't let a lot of these superstars try and fool you that they're hurting. They're not. Now there are rookies and younger players that don't make as much. 750,000, I think now is league minimum. And players that make a couple mil, 3, 4, 5 million. Is it a lot? Yeah. Is it that much? No, because you got to pay your agent and your publicist and taxes. So you make $5 million a year, you probably got 2.5 million left. It's not a lot, but making 30 million. Say you walk away 20, that's a chunk of change, man. You can set yourself up for life playing a game. I'm not saying the game is easy. I'm not discounting the game. It's still a game at the end of the day. You're not curing cancer, right? You're not a brain surgeon. You're not doing anything that's, I feel, productive in society. The productivity that you're doing is just to create delight or enjoyment for a fan to say, yeah, that is proud of their state and their team that we won. And that's a good feeling. It's not a bad feeling. You're doing something that's positive. But once again, you're not fixing someone that's ill or something, right? So I go back and forth with it. But with the CBA coming up, who knows what's going to happen? So maybe if that happens, would the Yankees go back to being the Yankees? I don't know, because now there's a cap. Are you grandfathered in for the first few years to get that money off your books so then you can go back to a cap? I don't know how any of that's going to work. But all I do know is the Yankees are getting older. Well, at least their superstars are. The young guys that they have don't seem to be producing that much, except for a rare few. And I don't think they wanted to trade away potential prospects or top level prospects who they deem have talent, which are yet to be proven at a Major League Baseball level. So, with that said, you know, they know more than I do. I'm just a fan looking from the outside in, and these are just my opinions. So, guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate y'all. Didn't mean to come on too late with this video, but I had to think about what I wanted to say. Just not happy at all with the trade out, how things went down today um, at the trade deadline. But we'll see. You know, they most likely lost tonight. They were losing after I turned the game off. I'm like, I can't watch this. Cam didn't have it tonight. He's allowed to have a bad night. You know, he's not superhuman. He's not Superman. These guys are human beings. They're allowed to have bad nights. So Cam's still my dude. All right, guys, listen, be safe out there. Thank you for listening and watching. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And let me know your thoughts. All right, peace.